Painted Albatross here again with the Cypher Unlimited crew, -1, sadly, no Dean tonight. But we have the lovely Spigs18 or Anthony here with us. We also have the two wonderful people from Rule of Lore. We have Jonathon Boyle and Lucas Santana. Why don't you say a quick hello for us?
Hi, everybody. Good to be here. It's exciting to be here.
Hello, hello.
First off, welcome, guys. You know, we love you guys. We love Rule of Law. You're one of our favorite channels, and anytime we get a chance to, do any sort of collab, we're gonna jump at it because you guys are awesome people.
Right back at you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
So today, I've been trying to get Lucas on for a GM Roulette for a while now. We always seem to stream around the same day, so it's been really difficult, but we finally got you guys on, so I'm super excited for this. So, for our new viewers that, haven't seen what GM Roulette is, it's a game that we designed using the Cypher system. It's a total improv. It's improvisational storytelling where the GMs rotate every 30 minutes. The characters are rolled randomly off a chart of 100 different characters. All the ciphers are new designed. Everything is rolled randomly. The genre is rolled randomly. So we basically have no freaking clue what's gonna happen in the next 2 hours. So this is awesome, and I'm happy to share this. We've been having this series for about 2 months now, where you guys are actually play testing the game for us. And believe it or not, every time we run one of these sessions, we go back and we tweak things. So we really appreciate everyone's feedback in chat, and plus your guys' feedback, to help us make the game better. It's in layout now. We want to get it out as soon as possible, but we'll love to make corrections if we have to. Mm-hmm. So guys, the first thing we do for GM Roulette is we roll to find out the order of who the GM is, who's the first GM. So Oh, actually, I messed everything up. Before we even go forward, could everybody go over what their randomly rolled character was? And we'll start with Lucas first.
Okay. My character is a beneficent speaker who absorbs energy.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I love that.
John?
Sentence.
I am playing a craven warrior who calculates the incalculable. Just incredible to me.
So sounds like a sociopath or something, but
I know. Sounds like a murderer.
I like fighting, but I don't like fighting. But I like fighting, but I don't like fighting.
What'd you call it? I rolled and got the resilient adept who wields 2 weapons at once. So battle magey, I guess.
Nice. And I got, which I have no clue how this is going to fit in like 80% of the genres, but I got a clever adept who brandishes an exotic shield. So I am definitely not hoping for teen drama that we got last week, last time, because it's going to be super difficult to fit that in, but we'll see where we go from this. So next step is we're going to go over the order of who GMs first. So the first GM gets 35 minutes, the second GM gets 30 minutes, the third GM gets 30 minutes, and the fighter GM gets 35 minutes to complete the adventure. Could everybody roll a D20, please?
I'm terrified.
I got an 18.
Ooh, I rolled in the middle. Yes, I got a 12.
I got a 14.
I got a 5, baby.
So the order is going to be, what did you get, Al?
12.
All right, so it's going to be John, Al, Lucas, and then I get to close out the show. Awesome.
Oh, I'm starting.
Yes, so that means, fortunately, John, your character will not be played in this session unless we have a character death, and that's a character for somebody to pick up. So for people watching that have never watched GM Roulette before, once John is finished with his 35 minutes, he gets to pick up the character of the person that's taking over for GM. So that means he will be picking up Al's character. So John, I need you to roll me a D20. This is the important, because this is where we roll on the genre chart.
Oh boy.
That is a 7.
Oh, we got steampunk.
Oh,
yes. Hell yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, cool.
I am so into that.
All right. So now everybody else, Lucas, myself, and Al, we all get to pick a flex skill and add it onto your character sheet. It could be any skill you like to flesh out your character, to make it fit into the genre. And then we're gonna go over what's everyone's character's name, and this will give John some time to think. Because John, right now you're gonna have to think about how you're gonna start this adventure off. So let me open up my sheet. I'll go first just to give you guys an example. I'm gonna look at my sheets. All right, so a clever adept that banishes an exotic shield.
Like,
right, so
for
I'm
instance,
gonna
me.
go
Oh,
with-
yeah. I already know what I'm taking.
So how does this work? How does the flex skill thing work?
What happened now?
No, it's he was asking how the flex skill works. So you just basically pick any skill you'd like
you want.
that kind of lets you flavor your character a little better for now that we know the setting. Again, so for instance, I'm gonna be taking I don't know how to phrase it properly. Maybe y'all can help me. Like mechanical repair, steampunk repair, because things will be mechanical, so I want to be able to repair things. I don't know how you want to phrase that, but I'm going to be good at repairing steampunk devices. I don't know. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to take for my flex skill soldiering. And my character's name is going to be called Malachi.
All right.
Williamson.
Ooh, let's see. I think my flex skill is going to be man, I can't think of anything. Ooh, this is an interesting one. And I'll take suggestions if anybody has any.
What's your sentence again?
Beneficent speaker who absorbs energy.
Ooh.
Maybe. Ooh, actually, I know. I'll go kind of the other direction from what Al did. If you've got like the kind of like mechanical sort of thing, I'll do more like the scientific kind of stuff, like the
nice.
like the sciencey sort of thing.
Well, I
So,
guess-
I'm gonna call it weird science.
Yep, that works.
I like it.
All right, and now the last thing is we all get one advancement. You could choose whatever advancement you want from the normal Cypher Revised Edition advancement list. I'm gonna choose extra edge.
I'm choosing extra effort.
No, actually, yeah, I'm gonna choose. That's what I meant. I'm gonna choose extra effort.
Don't steal my idea.
Yeah, I stole it. Stole it already.
Sorry, I was
You don't fuck with a guy with a shield, dude.
So we choose one of the advancement tiers. Is that what we said?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
Just the one.
Chat can just watch me frantically looking at my other screen, like pulling up name generators and like making notes here.
I think I'm gonna just add. You know what? I like. Sorry, did you guys say extra edge or extra effort? Which one did you do?
Effort for
I
me.
chose extra. We both chose extra effort.
Okay, I'm gonna choose extra edge then.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
What is? There we go.
All right, John. So you got 5 minutes and 35 minutes to roll. So you got 5 minutes to figure out where you're gonna go. Oh, do you know what is your character's names? I'm Malachi Williamson.
Okay, so we have gotta write these down at the bottom of my page here real quick. So we have
Notes
these are playing
important.
Malachi Williamson.
Yes, and I was part of the shield guard, and you could use that any way you want. But
Okay, all right, Lucas.
My name is Maxim Volkov.
Team Volkov, and you are the adept who absorbs energy.
Yes, beneficent speaker who absorbs energy.
Okay, beneficent. And then Anthony. Or sorry, wrong name. Anyway, what is it? Last one.
That would be me, and I am the resilient adept who wields 2 weapons at once. My name is Alfred Mandrake. I worked on the railroads as security.
Oh, and I guess yeah, in that case, I'm a scientist. A researcher of weird science.
Fantastic. Okay. All right.
Oh, Maxim. I also heard Maxine when you said it. Cool. I'm glad I'm reading the chat.
So we got Malachi. What's your name again now?
Alfred Mandrake.
Alfred.
Love that.
And Lucas, what's your name?
Maxim Volkov.
Maxim Volkov.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
We got the weirdest sounding group. We got Alfred, Maxim, and Malachi. Oh, yo, we ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We're special steampunk forces called ma'am.
Yep, I'm into it. Oh my gosh, it sounds like a really like a short run of a really like a cult following comic book, you know, like a graphic novel that had a cult following.
I feel like it would specifically be a British one.
Yes. MamCon, yes, absolutely. I'm into it. MamCon 2021.
Oh, and also real quick, Anthony, who will be keeping the timer for this?
You have your watch with you?
I have my phone in my pocket.
I could go get my phone.
No, I got it.
I still have to get mine because you go next anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's better anyway. Yeah, you might as well. And you're last, so... Yeah, better for him to be the timer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was telling John right before we while you were away, Al, I was saying how like it's wild not being the person in charge of the stream for once, but like the because my reflexive like stress is still kicking in, so I'm like, oh god, what am I doing? What do I got to do? I got to do this thing.
I definitely feel that whenever like, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Lucas, because if you watch any of our streams with regularity, you know we run a comedy of errors. We've just grown to accept it.
Oh, I'm just happy I'm not the one behind the stream this time.
It is definitely a good and confusing feeling.
Yep.
All right. Oh my god. I'm like I feel like my brain is on fire right now. I'm just trying to write everything that comes into it down as fast as humanly possible. Like I had an idea and I'm just like, this is where we live now.
All right, so
yeah,
let me know
that's
when you
usually how it
want me to
goes.
hit the timer.
Okay, I think I just have to I just have to make one last decision here, and then I think I'll be good. I just have to decide where I want to start all of you.
For those in the chat wondering, yes, in fact, I did choose to make my character have a Russian accent to force John to do it for the rest of the stream.
It's fine. I can do it too.
Wait, no, I'm gonna be the one ending up with that character, I think.
Oh.
Actually,
Wait, does it shift over, or is it just John play it the rest of the time?
No, so the way it works
yeah,
is
usually John will play it. It usually
John-
only switches over once.
yeah, so John will take my character when I go to GM, and then when
Gotcha.
you go
I
to
see.
GM, I
Yes.
take your character.
Even better.
Fun. I'm gonna butcher that horribly.
Good.
You know what's funny? I meant to put Malachi on my sheet and I put Milky. So I think I'm gonna go with Milky, John. I'm Milky Williamson. That sounds better.
I love that.
Milky Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm writing it, changing my notes.
It's so it is written, so shall it be. Okay. All right. They got that figured out, and then
Oh man, that was funny. Milky. It just
Yeah,
reminds
that's
me of
gonna
the
change
what is
my
it
whole
that
demeanor.
didn't they call that character from what is it? Was it Me, Myself, and Irene, the albino kid?
Yeah,
They had like they called him something like that.
Excellent.
That was a funny
okay.
movie.
So I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready
all
to
right,
go.
John.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right. So just as a reminder to everybody, we are playing a steampunk game here, and I am playing fast and loose with that genre thing. As soon as it came into my head, I was like, "This is good. These are things that are going to be." But everyone, welcome to the sprawling city of Bellport, which overlooks the glittering expanse of the prismatic seas, so named for the scintillating bursts of color that reflect off of them from the sunshine above, and the myriad of strange energies that seem to course through it at any given time. Bellport itself is teeming, I think, at this time of day in the kind of early morning, maybe mid morning. We'll say you've had time to kind of get up and go about your usual morning rituals. It's had time to wake itself up a little bit, and so things are in full steam, so to speak. I think we'll start with Maxime. You have been contacted by an old by an old colleague of yours, a fairly like elderly. Ooh, I didn't give him a name. We'll say that a fairly elderly like colleague of yours by the name of Crow. Um, he sent you a fairly urgent letter in the mail, sort of like down into your office this morning, through the sort of like pressurized mail system, asking you to meet him at his home, just about a half a mile from the docks.
Okay. So, I am walking down the street and sort of at some point do the kind of hurried shuffle across the street to get out of the way of one of the carriages.
Mhm.
And I look up at the apartment building and I walk up the sort of stone steps to the front door and grab the knocker and just sort of do it 3 times.
There's a long pause before you hear kind of like the hurried shuffling from the other side, and you hear first like the like hiss of a steam, like a pressurized lock disengaging, and then a few more chains slide past, and you see the door like and then catches on one last chain. You hear like just a low curse from inside before like it shuts. You hear one more shink, and then the door swings out to admit you, and you are looking upon the sort of like hunched figure of your colleague Crow, dressed in a dirty lab coat, a sort of elderly man with a long kind of scraggly beard, and a just halo of like sort of almost like poof, hair.
Yeah, so I step inside, and I think Maxime is like just sort of this pretty like tall and lanky kind of like uh guy in probably his like late 20s or so with just sort of a short relatively well kempt beard and just a shock of dark hair that just kind of keeps sort of falling into his eyes that he keeps brushing away. Like it's clear that he's got kind of like the grease in it to keep it, but it's not helping at all. It just kind of keeps falling in. He steps and he's kind of wearing like a like very kind of like Edwardian sort of frock coat kind of thing. And sort of stepping inside, he looks around, looks at the back of the door, and then just goes, "I don't think you have enough locks on that one."
Yes, I quite agree, especially in light of recent events, but more of that later.
Sure. Your message didn't say exactly what it is you wanted to meet about, so I assume somebody is dead, dying, in danger, something like that.
Um, well, actually, no, but it is, and you hear from the kitchen like the sound of a kettle just hitting feet. He's like, I should take care of that. Come.
Did you just invite me over here for tea? Is that what this is? You know
For-
I have research that's very important to do.
You hear he's already like moving into the kitchen, and it's just like, well, yes, but also something else. There's tea. There's an order to these things, Maxim. Um,
What, like cookies? What?
and I think sitting in the kitchen, uh, also are Milky and Maxim, the two of you being in between jobs for the Shield Guard, were also contacted this morning by none other than this sort of elderly researcher named Crow, who invited you with the promise of a fairly well-paying job that would take you that would involve in, as he put it, an astounding research opportunity.
So
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
You see a young boy, maybe about 15 years old, bronze skin, almost like sun-beaten and leathered. And you hear, excuse me, I'm not used to this voice. I'm not used to this body. I've only had it for a few weeks.
And then you see.
What's the mission?
Excuse me. Oof. You would have seen if you said we're sitting together, right? Me and what you call it, Milky. So what you would have seen for me is just a stockier gentleman, probably late 20s, early 30s, like a handlebar mustache, bald head. He's wearing like a dress shirt with the sleeves kind of rolled up. Almost think about like, old timey like boxer guy. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what you call those guys, but very similar. Like feel he's wearing like dress pants, but again he's like kind of ripped under there, so like that shirt is like really pressing against his bicep. Let's say he's holding up like a tea, like a cup of tea. You'll see that like it's like stretching his shirt. And he's just you're still getting used to it. It's okay. I know how these new bodies can be, but my body is perfect.
Right, well, hello. I am Maxim Volkov.
Why are we here? And as he gets up, you hear the loud sound of an iron rod, and on top of the rod looks like some sort of vulture head, right? And he's wearing long white robes that are obviously too big for him, so they run and cover his entire feet. The Shield Guard promised me new uniforms, but they also promised me a better body.
I do have one question. I wasn't sure quite what they were going to send me, but do you rust?
Somewhat.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, I presume the three of you are familiar with the legend of the dread pirate Starbreeze.
Let us say, for the sake of argument, that I am not.
Okay, well, I will. I'll explain just a bit. Over the centuries, of course, prismatic seas, sailing, seemingly able to travel from one end of the seas to another in the blink of an eye. Of course, likely some sort of exaggeration or some inaccuracies. Anyway, terrifying dread ship appears out of nowhere, takes that which Captain Starbreeze desired, and then vanished again in the blink of an eye. Said to have collected all of his treasures and wealth, a historic collection of art and treasures from across decades. on an island deep within the prismatic seas, but forever lost to navigational possibilities until, I might add. And he's like playing this up very much for like the dramatic, like he's clearly been like rehearsing this. He stopped, like he's sort of like pouring out tea at the moment, and he's pausing for effect here, like pouring everybody's tea. We have this now, and he pulls from inside his jacket a sort of spherical looking device that you can see, like there are a number of there are like small dials and little trinkets, and you can hear as he holds it, this whole house like ticks and whirs and kind of whooshes, like you can hear that, you can feel the warmth of the of steam like rushing through the pipes that fuel so many of the little trinkets in this house, emitting little puffs of smoke here, like ticking on shelves in the corner. But from this, you can also almost just hear like kind of a rush and receding sound of that pressurized steam from within it. Carved across it, although like as the light catches it, you can see almost that it seems to shimmer across the entire spectrum of colors on its surface, much in the same way that the surface of the prismatic sea does. So
I whisper over to Alfred, it's just like the shield guard to send a bronze man into sea. Salt does not, let's say, agree with my current body.
Yes, I am terribly sorry about that. I should have maybe been more specific at the beginning.
Oh, excuse me, can you do me a favor? My knee seems to be stuck. Could you just hand me that can of oil right there?
Oh,
when you mentioned that
sure.
about Shield Guard, I say, no, don't worry about it. You know, I'm sure after this, they'll have a much better body waiting on wings for you.
All right. He hands you the can of oil so that you can deal with your knee.
Yeah. I stand up and you hear the sound of the can squirting.
Right. So I have reason to believe, he says, kind of setting the object on a little holder in the middle of the table, that this fabled treasure island does in fact exist. And if you would just, one of you, press just here. And he indicates a small like depression at the center of a little wheel that spins around and seems to have 12 different degrees on it.
I look over to Maxim, who looks like the scientist. Doc?
I also look over at Maxim. And you hear the sound of my neck turns.
Of course, let me see. And I just sort of reach over and I'll just press.
All right, so you feel the top of the sphere give just a little bit. You feel it sort of like underneath your finger, and the little capsule on top sort of spins and pops up on this little jet of steam as sort of the entire surface of the thing ripples, and then you can see a myriad of little cracks across its surface as it then begins to project light from within. Flickering almost as though like a heated, not flickering, but almost as though there's an electric light within. And you can see kind of painted on the walls around you what appears to be a navigational chart, a map, unlike any you have seen of the expanse of the prismatic seas, with at its heart the sort of glowing center marked with the flag of Captain Starbreeze.
So, you are going to send us out there? Is that what this is?
Yes, that was the idea.
How did you make this? I stand up out of my seat and I'm looking around.
I didn't make it. I came by it. Actually, I was gifted. Gifted is it's not quite the right word, but it was presented to me by an anonymous donor to the college, and I took a great interest in it. Its craftsmanship was unlike any that I had seen. So naturally, I was curious about it, and well, after some tinkering, we arrived here. I've checked the charts against the ones that seem to be known, and it seems to me accurate, which would indicate that there is perhaps a discovery to be made here.
It seems to me that you're sending us after a pirate, but yet as I look around, there doesn't, no offense, guys, they do not look capable of combat.
I'm pretty. If you're referencing us, I definitely look pretty ripped. And if you looked at my I guess my tools, quote unquote, I have two what you call, because I dual light weapons. I have two like small mallets on like either side of my hip. They look pretty heavy, or like what you call it, like formidable. I don't know what you call it. It's a light weapon. So, yeah.
Also understand, this is coming from a bronze 15-year-old boy.
I definitely my all right. So I look over to the boy. I'm like, you've seen. I'm like flexing as I pick up a hammer. Like, I think we can handle a couple of pirates.
Well, and if you don't mind, excuse me, Crow, which is your least favorite teacup?
Actually, I was gifted this one by an academic rival, and you can see like this horrible, like just this delicately sculpted, like monstrous looking corvid cup that is sitting up there, that just has like a little flag of the university that you know that Crow still like does some lecturing at.
I'll like stand up, walk over to it, grab it, set it on the counter, and then walk away. And I'm gonna I'm gonna use my release energy ability, and just like I'll reach down and to sort of pull out like what looks like a pocket watch out of my coat, and just sort of flick it open, and I'll like turn the dial. I'll mess with the dial a little bit, and then just from it, all of a sudden, there's just this like beam of energy that shoots out towards it, like a kind of like electric charge that shoots out towards the cup. Which are you going to want me to roll on this one?
Yeah, we can make this a roll. We'll say
Okay.
we'll say it's a difficulty. It's a confined space, and you're trying not to injure anyone else in here. We'll say it's a difficulty 2, just so it maybe makes it a roll.
Sure. I would this be? Is this a speed task or?
I would say it's a speed task.
Or intellect maybe, because it's sure, whatever. Speed task. So okay, I I don't think I have anything here, so I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna take it as is. You said difficulty 2?
Yeah, difficulty 2.
Great, I love this. Okay.
Here comes the one.
Well, it's not a 1, but it is a 5.
It's a 5. So how does this manifest? Do you
it's basically like a little I said before it was like electric energy, but it specifically says kinetic energy. So it's literally like the air in front of it like warps almost as if there was a projectile moving through the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say it definitely doesn't. I mean, it could hit the teacup, but but with that, I would say it literally is just sort of like, the bullet time effects in the Matrix where it just sort of like warps the air like that. That's kind of what it looks like, but there's no projectile on it. It's just sort of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You watch as this happens, and it hits what appears to be a very elaborate looking toaster right behind the teacup, which rattles it. And you see as a spring just right out of it, bounces off the ceiling, and then like rattles between a whole bunch of other like teacups up there. Which causes like a couple of like the little infuser balls that you put the tea leaves into. One of them like rolls off, falls down into the cup, which causes it just go like woo, 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 right on the edge of the counter. Make a difficulty 1 intellect roll for me. This is just anything that aids your perception.
I got a 1.
Will assist this.
Is this straight intellect because I have an inability in intellect defense.
Straight intellect.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 1.
A natural one.
I rolled a 5.
Incredible.
We really going to.
I got an
Bruh.
18.
Okay. So,
Hit me with that
yeah,
geometry, baby.
Alfred, you are so just fixated on this that you do not notice, which the other two do, as Crow goes, and then the the mug falls off the counter and shatters on the floor. He just sort of like kicks the counter from several feet away.
I'll say, there you see it. There's no longer the toaster.
I look over at Maximum. What's your name again?
Maxim.
I look over at Maxime with like the trying to frown my bronze face, even though it's not really moving. And I was like, "Do know I would kill for Lord Earl Grey tea right now."
You do actually have one steeping on the table that he poured you while he was pausing for effect earlier.
Too bad I can't drink it.
Oh no!
My mind is blown by all this. It's like, whoa, he's amazing. That was incredible.
I'm sorry. It's not calibrated right. I'll get it right later.
I'll say you rolled quite high, Lucas. So you as Crow kind of like kicked the counter, you heard the thump, but at the same time, I will say, it's my GM intrusion. You hear from upstairs kind of like a heavy, almost like as he does that, there's another upstairs. So something fell.
I'll just. Does that always happen?
It's probably the books.
Sure, the books.
You've seen my office before, I'm sure of the towering stacks.
Well, I don't think I have seen your office because it is covered in stacks of books.
I suppose. Touche. So, at any rate, he reaches down and picks up the device, sort of spins the little gear down on the top, and it kind of clicks back together and ceases emitting the light that it was. And he goes, "If you are interested, I have procured some funds from the university itself to pay for the voyage on the HMS Endeavour down at the docks. I have actually, and you hear the sort of like high nickering of the of two carriages that have pulled up outside. I've commissioned 2 carriages to take us down to the docks. How much time do I have left, out of curiosity?
12 minutes and 22 seconds.
That's so much time.
I'll just say no. There is one thing. It's pretty clear. It's pretty clear here what we are going to get out of this. I mean, it's a pirate. It has treasure, all of that sort of thing. But what exactly is your interest in this, Crow? You've never been really the adventuring type, so why now?
I missed many of my opportunities to be more adventurous in my youth. So I thought that a nice, cozy ship, a trip across the dangerous prismatic seas to a forgotten island might be, in addition to the academic accolades, might be a bit of a fun last hurrah, so to speak.
So you're coming with us, Doc?
Oh yes, of
I
course.
said a Crow. I pointed him. Are you sure?
And you like he's pulling like there's, you noticed on your way in that there are several like large heavy bags of like books and charts and maps that are all in the that were sitting in the entryway that you kind of just took as part of the background, but you're like, now they sort of, it clicks into place and you're like, oh.
I hate to spoil this beautiful reunion, but I dig in my hand, I pull out a parchment, and I go, on behalf of the Shield Guard, I need you to sign here.
Oh yes, of course.
And here.
Yep. Yep.
Finally here.
Oh, and we're out of ink. Hold on, I need to get the steam-powered one.
He
goes...
and
Pulls out
last but not least, you have to initial here, here, and here.
And 1 and 2, 3. Oh, that does look rather like it. Never mind, it'll be fine.
Thank you very much. This seems to be all in order. When would the shield guard be able to receive his first payment?
I've arranged for it already, and if you wouldn't mind, I can use my personal mail system to send it over to the shield guard here.
Just one last thing. Since you just told me that, could you initial here to tell me that you actually told me when the initial payment is going to arrive? You know.
Yes.
I don't do well with with the up and ups, but they make me have you sign this.
You know, as the up and coming say, we respect the hustle, and he signs.
Milky, always by the books. Always by the books, old Milky.
Nobody says that.
The carriage boy say it. He's talking something about I can't think of a good pun. Never mind. I was gonna try and make up steampunk TikTok in my head, but I couldn't conjure it.
It kind of is already, I think.
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, actually,
but it's spelled with the C's in this one.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah. TikTok with a C. Anyway, now that I've spent 20 minutes expositing. Sparks is the dating app. Thank you, chat. That's canon now.
Crow, half of this is going to end up being severely waterlogged. It's wet out there, right?
Well, I've actually, there's a revolutionary new process that I found for waterproofing and he's very excited about the waterproof.
I think it's in that moment that Maxim realizes exactly what door he just opened, and it just fully zones out. Just completely.
It's several minutes of him just going on and on and on and on. About the preparations that he's taken to ensure that his materials survive the trip, and so these sort of as you guys are kind of standing on the threshold of the house, you can see the two carriages that have pulled up, both drawn by mechanical horses that you can see as they're standing there, kind of in the morning light. You can see the of steam out from their nostrils as they are standing there. The kind of flickering red glowing eyes from the lights that are inside. And so you watch kind of as the valets for each of the two carriages kind of begin loading them up with various belongings, and he sort of says, I've taken the liberty of just arranging for a few of your own positions to be taken down to the docks this morning. I don't mind. I've commissioned some supplies to be brought along with you. One last thing before we go. I think it perhaps, and you've seen as he is, the whole time that you've been here, he's kind of just been glancing repeatedly over at the clock or over his shoulder. Checking the corners of the room. I think it might be best if one of you were to keep this in your safekeeping hands. You've demonstrated a certain amount of martial prowess this morning. Sort of.
Are you talking about the orb?
Map.
Okay.
The map orb that he had earlier.
I again motion over to Maxim. You seem to know kind of about this stuff, Dak.
Yes. Sure. I will take the map.
How long of a journey on this ship you think it'll be?
Ooh. It's difficult to say. Perhaps it could be a matter of weeks, a few days. It really does depend, I think, on what the Captain Stafford has arranged for us. But at any rate, I filled my carriage rather full with my things. I think I'll likely be the only one to fit. You may take the first carriage.
Captain Stafford?
Yeah, Tyra Stafford, actually.
From Buccanelli?
The very same.
Oh, I know him. We fought together. He's a brave man.
Yes, he's many accolades from the ship business. His first mate, Peyton Ward, with excellent accolades as well. The crew, I also set to hiring myself. So the officers are a bit separate from it. They ship, but anyway.
John, you got 5 minutes.
All right, cool. So y'all begin piling into the carriages, and you hear like the sort of chains that make up the reins for these things kind of snap against their like snap and clank against their sides, and you begin clopping down. And I think how are you arranged in the carriage? Like there's basically 2 benches. You could fit 2 people on each of them, one facing the back, the other facing the front.
When Milky sits down, the whole carriage tilts because of the weight of his bronze body. So I'm assuming if anyone's sitting next to Milky, they're like sliding into him. So he's used to that. So if anyone is sitting next to him, that's just how it's going to be. Like half the carriage is tilted to the side.
It would probably be me since we're used to going out on doing stuff together. So yeah, I'm just like my big old arms folded like sideways next to him, just hanging out.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay. So and then who's sitting in back and who's sitting in front?
I think that's the 2 benches sort of like facing each other, right?
Yeah.
So I think like Maxim and Crow is in there too.
Crow's in the second carriage.
Oh, okay. So then Maxim is facing towards the back where the other 2 are.
Okay. Good to know.
Oh, so you're facing the back of our heads?
No, like I'm facing the back of the carriage because we're like facing each other.
Yeah.
Inside the carriage, I'm looking back. You guys are looking front.
Yeah, so we basically have ours towards where the horses would be, and he's looking away from the horse.
Yeah.
Or
so I'm staring at you blankly with, like this robotic face that has no, like this carved face that has no emotion, just staring at you.
Yeah, and I'm like, I have a journal open, and I'm like going in between, like writing in it and looking up at you, and writing in it and looking up, and then just.
Yep, I'm not moving whatsoever. I'm just like looking at you blankly.
You know what? Never mind. And then I just go back to writing.
and if I see him examining his face and like trying to like see if he's awake, alive, like don't worry, he is awake. He's just pretty quiet if there's nothing to talk about.
On the way to the docks, I would like to offer all of you a GM intrusion.
Oh,
I would like to.
Yeah, take it for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. I suppose I have to offer this specifically to somebody, right?
Not necessarily. You can
You
do
can
a
offer a
group
group intrusion.
We'll offer a group intrusion.
Everybody.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. All right. So take your XP. Maxim, as you are like glancing up one of the many times that you have from your notes, you're kind of, as the carriages are passing through a heavily kind of like heavily obscured area, you can see like these thick clouds of steam coming up from the like plates that cover the manhole covers, and then like also a number of like, it seems like there's a like pipe that's been rent in one of the kind of like tall almost Elizabethan looking buildings at the side of the road that's just like this big cloud of steam out into the street. And so like mostly at this point what you can see, it gets very warm and humid in the carriage as you pass through it, and the most you can see of the second carriage is kind of just the vague shape of it. And in that moment, as you're looking up, kind of feeling the temperature shift, you see one and then 2 large, one small shape and one large sort of broad shape onto the top of the carriage behind you, tipping it completely over. you can hear from inside like the kind of screech of metal on the wheels, and you can hear the sort of steam horses spook as there's another boom on the top of your carriage, and then a cutlass down into the like through the center of the roof in between all of you.
Well, it seems it's time to put our martial skills to the test.
Immediately stand up and whip out the two hammers.
I extend my hand, and you hear the hissing sound and a popping sound of air pressure, and I immediately blow out the doors of the carriage so we could get out quicker.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm just flavoring my push ability to open the door open.
Okay. I'm going to. I will. Can we make this a roll? That's your push ability.
Yes.
Yeah. That just happens. May I offer you a GM intrusion?
Yes, but you ran out of time. So
I mean, I feel like that's a good cliffhanger. That's a good cliffhanger.
I'm into
All right,
it.
so now it comes over to me. So you now have my character, John.
Okay, so I'm playing
Alfred Mandrake.
Excellent. Thank you for playing along with me, everyone. This is very exciting.
And then, yeah, I'm just gonna dive right into it. So
let me know when you want me to start the timer. Hold on a second. Let me reset it.
I could not have played out better. Like comments through the roof, and then the timer goes off.
So
you heard it on my phone, right? Too.
Yeah.
Right next to my
I'd like to offer you a gym intrusion. And yes, but you good? Your timer's reset?
Yep. And John, you have Al's character now, right?
Yep, I've got it up. I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
All right, so
let me know when to start.
Yeah, so start. Cutlass comes down.
5.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Count it down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cutlass comes down on top of the carriage, spooking the hell out of all y'all after Maxim had seen the other carriage topple over after these two mysterious figures landed on it. You heard the thump, and then the cutlass comes down on yours. I'm blanking on your character's name right now. It's on my other page. Anthony.
Who? Crow?
Yeah, no, Milky. Milky blasts away the door with his push ability. And if you would like, y'all can give me speed rolls to exit the carriage before whatever's happening on top continues to happen. Because what is it? Milky gave y'all a convenient getaway by blasting open the doors.
All right. What does it mean when you roll a 1? Because that's what I did.
No, good things. Only good things happen when you roll one.
So what did everyone else roll?
She got another 18.
Alright, so this is just gonna be a difficulty 3 task anyway, so yeah, you two make it out just fine. But Milky, unfortunately, you're blasting away. The recoil was so strong that it actually pushed you against the other side of the carriage. And you're struggling to get back up to your feet or whatever have you, as the cutlass continues to swipe away at the top of the carriage, and a figure lands on top of you, slicing you slightly with the cutlass as it falls down from the ceiling. And you take 2 might damage, as nicks your side or your arm or whatever have you as it comes down. And now everybody can roll initiative. Roll initiative for me. And again, I'm not gonna tell you the difficulty of the thing, but let me know what y'all get. I'll write it down. And but what you guys would see from
I got a 9 on initiative.
What you guys would have seen from outside, like the two that escaped, you would have seen a figure, maybe covered in steam or cloaked by steam, fall into the carriage. You might have heard the scraping of metal as the cutlass like sliced some of his metal body. And again, however Anthony or Milky would be reacting, you'd also hear that as well. As his figures landed on top of him. But the figure's not keeping you prone or anything. Like now, like after he landed on you, you like both kind of like tumbled to the ground and like you're both scrambling to
What's
your
the
feet.
figure look like? If it's
so now,
directly
exactly. Now that you're like on your feet, able to see what's going on. It looks like a guy in like cloaked wear. Like he has very thick red goggles, like very steampunky, like with gold trimmings. He has a like a burgundy hood with a burgundy face mask. And again, like a burgundy, all the stuff is like very thematically burgundy. Like he's wearing burgundy pants, like red shoes, whatever. Yeah, and that's what you see inside the carriage. Outside, you still don't really have a picture of that. You just saw the figure fall in. And what was everyone's initiative again?
18.
I also rolled another 18.
Oh wow!
I had a 9.
Great number.
It's gonna come back. I just know it.
So you all go before the figure, and if you wanted to, you could look around to see what's going on with the carriage that got toppled over in the distance. But yeah, y'all three go before the figure inside the carriage. And Anthony, or Milky, inside you see that this guy has his cutlass ready and looks like he's getting ready to mess you up.
You mind if I go first since I'm the one being attacked?
Go for it.
He's
give us the
laying on
map.
top of me. I had that staff, right? You see the staff, you hear a clicking sound as the staff opens up into a bronze shield and almost looking like an umbrella, like I still holding the handle, the top becomes a shield, and I want to push him out of the open door that I opened.
All right, yeah, go for it.
That I blast open earlier.
Using the push ability, right? Or just you just want to actually push him?
No. I'm using the strafe ability, just a physical attack.
Oh yeah, then go for it. You could definitely do that. Just
so
go for it.
Yeah, because I can make the shield. That's an enabler. It just happens, and I'm gonna apply a level of effort to this roll.
Okay.
So, and that's might, so I don't have an edge. I'm gonna subtract 3 from my might.
And you guys outside. Oh, go ahead.
I got a 13 on the roll plus 1 level of effort.
You blast him in the chest or however has it. He kind of blocks it a little with the cutlass, but the cutlass pushes into him a little bit, pushes him outside of the thing. How much damage does that do, if any, or is it?
What you call it? The normal shield does. It's a medium weapon, so it does 4.
Okay.
But I also have an ability that my shield, I could do 1 less damage and stuns them for the next turn. So it'll be 3.
Okay, so that's what you're doing then?
Yeah, just picture he's on top of me.
Yeah,
and
you're
I
shield bashing him out of there.
umbrella.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens. This guy's like you're like wrestling with you on top of you. You go to your rod, whatever. It pops open. He is like pushed back by the force, lands on his back outside. And you said it stuns him, or like what's the effect?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll put it up.
Like, is it just does he have like a what is it inability? Is he like can't do anything? Okay. Pummeling is when it's normal, but I actually have to go to Pro 20. Okay, yeah, so he gets back on his feet and he's dazed a little bit, not stunned. He looks like he's like wobbling a little bit on his feet. And now that he's outside the carriage, you guys see now this Burgundy, what looks like an assassin almost. He's like mumbling about the map now that he's give the map. And if you also hear in the background, or where the other carriage was, like again the slicing of the carriage as the metal hits whatever the carriage is made out of, you might hear Crow shouting for help. And yeah, what are you two doing?
What did you say? What kind of weapons Alfred had?
Hammers.
Oh, no, you
Hammers.
oh yeah.
I mean, I said that in the first act, or when I was playing as him.
Cool. All right.
Like little mallets or whatever you want to say.
Love it. I am going to. I think I am going to, hearing the cries of Crow for help, just sort of. I'm going to use Far Step. My action. So yes. I think basically the way that this looks is like Alfred looks at the two of you, and then you watch as he kind of unlimbers both hammers and then just like springs like sort of like very, very almost acrobatically like up, like gets a little bit of a running start and then vaults himself like up and over the like the still spinning wheels of the upended carriage, and manages to kind of just like swing himself around and vault himself over to the other carriage.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. I don't even think there's a roll involved. You just do it. happens.
Subtract one from my intellect pool.
Yeah, you pay for it. Yeah. Yeah, you do that. You guys see that happen. As you land over there, you see that the carriage is now overturned, very similar to yours. You see the wheel spinning as, it had just fallen over. You see that now, like basically against the side of the carriage, you see that Crow is now cornered by these two very similarly robed burgundy figures, except they got one is really small, one's really tall. The one y'all were dealing with was kind of like the middle ground. He's like the medium one. But yeah, now you got this really short burgundy assassin, really tall, burly burgundy assassin. They're just both with their cutlasses. Crow, give us the map. We don't want to hurt you. And yeah, Lucas, what are you doing?
Okay, so instead of, when I went to get out of the carriage, instead of like getting out onto the street, is it possible that I can like get up onto like kind of like a higher place, like maybe where the driver is?
I would give you another speed roll to see if you could like have swung your way up there.
Okay.
If that's like the preferred position.
Sure. And is that will that be my action to do that, or
No. This is like a retroactive like kind of roll where it's like
Okay. So I genuinely don't think I have anything that will help me. So I'm just gonna go and roll that one.
Yeah, go for it.
I think I'm just gonna roll that one because I'm not gonna spend anything for this right now. Okay. All right. Okay, it's gonna sound like I'm lying to you, but I rolled another 18.
All right, I mean it succeeds, so now you can start your turn from the top of the carriage or whatever have you. Yeah.
You have to play that number on the lottery.
I guess. How many have I rolled now? 3, 4?
3, 4, something like that.
There's been like 4 or 5 of them rolled tonight.
So as I get up onto the like where the carriage driver is, I'm gonna look around. So I'm kind of like surveying the field, and I'm just going to start I'm just going to be start calling out stuff because I can see from up there. I'm just going to say, okay, here's the thing, you need to keep your guard up. He's going to come at you high, and he like that one, he has a bit of a limp, so you can stick to his left side. And I'm just going to like do that. I'm going to use encouragement to like encourage give everybody help on defense tasks.
Okay. That's the one you choose the task, right?
Yeah. That's the one that I'm doing. So defense tasks. So everybody has an asset to their defense.
Yep, makes sense. And yeah, seeing you do that up there, trying to direct, the people down below. The burgundy assassin in front of y'all goes into his like pouch and like whips out. I don't know. Looks like which I'm bad at steampunk like flavoring. He whips out small daggers, but at the end of them there's like a small little like engine or something, like it makes it go fast, like little jet powered like daggers. So he whips it out and he throws one at you at the top there because he sees that you're trying to like direct people. It seems like you're like the mastermind here, so he whips out that, throws it at you. Can you give me a speed defense roll?
I sure can. Let me see if I have. I do not.
And does encouragement ease your task too, or just everyone else's?
It says allies, so I don't think so.
Nope.
So yeah. All right. So yeah, but that's okay. So speed defense, you said.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it as is. Here we go. Okay. So that's a 15.
All right, you're good. You dodge out of the way. This thing whizzes right by you, or maybe just bounces off like, wait, you're not wearing it, or it definitely wouldn't bounce off. It whizzes by you. Whizzes by your head.
I did stick the map into my like coat, so maybe it hits
that.
Oh,
bounce, yeah. It bounces off the metal.
Yeah.
Keeps you safe. And the guy shakes his head, like, what? It's like he expects to see you bleeding or something. He's like, what? And he's still like kind of dazed too, because remember his things are, he got messed up by the pushing umbrella, or excuse me, shield umbrella. And then back over to the two other burgundy guards that I'm blanking on your character's name, but John's character, right? Oh, you're playing me, Alfred. Alfred's there, and you see that the two other burgundy guards, they're threatening Crow, right? The large one is still cornering Crow. The small one turns to you and like takes out his cutlass, like, we don't want to have to kill you for this. We just want the map. And he goes and tries to like stab you with the cutlass to keep you away from this situation. The large one's not going to do anything. He's just keeping Crow cornered. But yeah, the smaller one tries to stab at you with his cutlass.
All right. This would be what sort of defense?
Speed or might, I'd allow either. I know
I have
raw
an
is
asset
usually
to my
speed for
defense
melee
rolls. We're gonna-
attacks and stuff, but again, I like to rule either.
You have an asset from encouragement for
That
any
as
defense
well.
task.
So that's
Yep.
down by 2.
Yep,
What was the difficulty?
3. So it's like 1 now.
3? Oh, okay. Cool. I'll roll. That's a 13, so a success.
Yeah, so you got it out of the way, or however you want to flame, you parry it out of the way with one of your hammers. But yeah, he doesn't strike you. It's like, "Duh, stop making it difficult. We just need the map." And yeah, now it goes back to you guys. What are y'all doing?
Since I went first, I'm gonna use my move action to crawl out of the carriage, and I now have this bronze umbrella. I'm gonna say, Doc, stay here, stay safe, and I'm gonna spin it, and I'm gonna cast distortion on Doc, which
Okay.
gives him. I'll put it in the chat, but it gives him a asset on speed defense rolls.
Nice, yeah. So what does it look like? You
And
just
what
shake-
you see is
yeah.
with the water and the light hitting the bronze, and it shines a ray all over Doc, and it makes him look like like a rainbow prism. So it's gonna almost camouflage him from the attacks.
Nice. I like it.
All right.
Alright.
Love it.
That'll be my action.
That works. Yeah. Shimmery protects him. Yeah.
I'm
Oh, sorry.
deciding-
Was that on me
It's
or was
either
that?
or,
it's
because
on you.
again.
Oh, okay,
well,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Okay, I can do a thing. I think I'll just I'll look back at I'll just kind of knock the blow aside with one of the hammers and be like, I'm afraid it's never easy with me, and then just spin both of the hammers, and then I would like to use shatter and try and shatter like the big guy's weapons and this guy's cutlass with the hammers.
Is that just 2 attacks, or how does shatter work? Let's see.
I'm flavoring it's an area of effect thing. So you interrupt the fundamental force holding normal matter together for a moment, causing the detonation of an object you choose within long range, composed of mundane materials.
Oh, I see.
The
Yeah.
object
So
explodes in an
I would
immediate radius,
allow.
dealing 1 point.
I'll allow you to do it on both their weapons, even though the ability doesn't say you can use effort. It just says effort for damage. I'll allow you to target both their things if you just use a level of effort on top of the ability. You can
Okay.
target both their swords.
I will do that. So it'll cost me 4, eat 1 by edge.
And then you roll on it to
that.
see if it blows up.
And- cool.
And we'll just do one roll for both of them.
Okay. That is a 15.
Oh yeah, they blow up. But it also says everyone in the. Well, what is it? But yeah, it also
I
says
was
that.
gonna say, imagine the way it looks. You first. You first.
No. Sorry. It just says that that everybody in the immediate area takes damage. So the crow's taking damage. The burgundy guys are all taking damage. You're also. I don't think you're close enough. I mean, it's up to you how close you want to be. I didn't picture you very close enough to be immediate range to do this. But yeah, all those people are just taking damage. Boom, 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 boom. Actually, no. You would be
mean
close
the
enough to the
crows, but-
small one too. Yeah, so you're also taking the 1 damage. Everybody takes 1 damage in this area. You hear the explosion of the metal, and you see shards go everywhere. They're nicking you in the face. They nick the you see it nicks
We don't
parts of
need
the
Crow. He
clothing off.
signed in triplicate on paperwork.
And yeah, Crow calls. Ah, what blimey hell was that?
I imagine Crow's having a really bad time because I imagine the way that this happens is basically just like rocket propelled both of the hammers out of his hands to shatter through both of their weapons just to break them, and then using kind of like magnets in his belt, just so I imagine both hammers just like on either side of Crow's head.
He's like, what? His ears are ringing from metal hitting metal. It's like, oh, what's going on? I didn't sign up for this. I just wanted to do research. I want an adventure, but
Yeah,
not
and
like
then you
this. Yeah, no, they shot her again. The weapons are gone now. They're disarmed. They're looking around, patting themselves, trying to find more of their rocket powered daggers or jet powered daggers, to resort to. But Lucas, what are you doing? Or I should say,
Okay.
I'm so bad at character names.
Maxim.
Maxime.
So, is there one close enough for me to get to?
Yeah, there's one basically.
guys.
The medium-sized one is still tangling with y'all, so he's just basically a drop from the carriage below you. Like he just threw his bag at you.
Okay,
so he's like right
so
there.
I'm going to. Okay, great. So then I'm going to. As I'm looking down at him, I'll kind of reach into the inside, like of my coat, where there's sort of like little leather holsters that have like little like they have like these sort of clockwork injectors, and there's two of them in there. I'll pull one out, and I'll drop down on him, and I'll attempt to inject him. I am going to use this as a cipher. This is the sleep inducer.
Oh boy.
So I actually it doesn't say what the level is, so should I roll the level here?
Yeah, just roll the D.
Yeah, if the level is relevant, yeah, roll the level now. Yeah, if the level is relevant.
Okay. I actually, so it's a level 2 cipher.
Okay.
So,
could you post the cipher in the chat so I can see it? Or put the card or whatever. I know Anthony uses the cards. Okay, there we go. It says 10 minutes per cipher level. Yeah, so if he goes to sleep, he goes to sleep for 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right, yeah, you go for it. You go and try to plunge him in it. Can you give me a speed attack or whatever you want to? I'll even call it might, whatever you want to call it.
This feels like a speed thing because I'm trying to get in there real quick before you.
You know what's funny? Maxim is still glowing a rainbow color right now.
Go sleep.
You see, basically, because you say he kind of blends in with the prismatic nature of like the steam here, right? So you just see like a needle, you don't even see him. You see like maybe a light outline of it, but then mostly the needle just like in midair going into this guy, or attempting to.
And here we go. Oh, that's a 17.
Oh yeah, he's asleep. You plunge it into him. He passes out.
Yeah, it's just a shh, go to sleep, and then just
depending on how you do
slowly,
if you
basically I drop down onto him and take the injector directly into his neck from behind, and as I do that, I'm holding my arm around his chest, and I'm sort of slowly lowering him to the ground.
Basically, Assassin Creeded him. You put him down. Yeah. And you see that happen, Milky. You see him put down this guy without killing him. Or you don't know if he's dead or not. You don't know what the doctor did. But all you know is that he is not conscious anymore. And then you over by the two other carriages, would you like a GM intrusion? Because now it goes back to the two Burgundy guards who still are awake. That would be you, Alfred.
Cool.
Alfred.
I'm a sucker for a GM intrusion. I can't say no.
So you get 1 XP. Who gets the other XP?
I am fucking around, and Milky's gonna have to find out with me, so you can have 1 XP.
So what happens here is you see that they panic after their swords blow up. Their swords are blow up. They're panicking, looking for new weapons. They hear or they see maybe in the far background that this gentleman jumped on their colleague and now their colleague's on the ground. So they're just trying to get out of here. So the big one grabs Dr. Crow. The small one throws he whips out a small metal sphere and throws it onto the floor. It causes a big smoke bomb. You can't see anything, and then once the smoke clears, all three are gone. The two ninjas that were not the Burgundy one you put to sleep, he's still there. The Dr. Crow and the two other Burgundy assassins are now gone. They disappeared into that smoke bomb, but you still have that one sleeping guard. And initiative is over now. You guys can talk, do whatever. There's no more threat. That guy is asleep. 2 other guys just kidnapped Crow, and yeah. What are you guys doing? Or, you know, what is it? Alfred had seen that. You two by the other carriage still don't really know that this is what's going on. You may have seen a smoke bomb go off, but it's still pretty smoky until, you know, Alfred comes to speak to you, or, and, you know, dissipates. It will take a few minutes, but yeah.
I mean, I would look over at Maxim and I go, I apologize. You're a lot more useful than I gave you credit for, Doc. And I slam my heavy teenage bronze hand on his back.
I get that a lot, actually. Where did they go?
I didn't see. It's some kind of smoke bomb, and then when it cleared, they were gone, and the steam around here isn't helping either.
Where's Crow?
Gone with them, it seems.
Well, at least we still have this one. We can ask him many questions. Anybody have something to tie him up with? I don't want him pulling the same thing.
You guys would definitely have rope or something on you like that. That's not a you guys have rope. If you want to tie him up.
I'm pretty sure we'll find something in the carriage. I'll go in the back and pull out.
Take the chains that are used to drive the steam powered horses and just like wrap him up with the chains.
That
How far are we off from the ship?
Just like mummify him from
right
like
now,
collarbone to waist.
Just super cartoony, just super chains all over. He wakes up like, I didn't sign up for this.
Every time off of the chain, you know, my staff, the shield collapses again, and I still have the crow head. I use it as a hook to drag him as we're walking.
But yeah, the 2 carriages are still collapsed over. You could probably, with a lot of effort, you know, make it right side up. The horses are spooked, but you know they'll still run. Or I don't know, the mechanical horses get spooked. We'll say they were spooked. They had well, either way, now they're under control. And it's about maybe like an hour or so away from the dock if you walk it, or like 10 minutes if you get the carriage going. Yeah, and again, that Burgundy guy is knocked out. He'll wake up shortly, but it's up to you what you want to do with him. He's tied up in chains right now, and you want to drag. Like, what do you guys want to do? You guys want to set the carriage up or walk it? It's up to you guys.
Does anybody know what these lavender suits up mean? They're quite fashionable, but I don't recognize any of the markings.
So I do have a skill in general knowledge. Do I know anything about these about these uniforms? Is there anything about the way that they were dressed that I would?
Yeah, can you give me a what you call it roll, like
5 minutes?
Yeah, like a lore knowledge check, whatever, intellect roll based on the general knowledge of these guys. I'll let you all roll for it if you'd like. It's okay. Just something, you know. But yeah, the general knowledge would definitely count towards easing the roll.
Okay, cool.
Well, I could give him an asset because I'm trained in understanding the importance or qualifying the importance. So I'm like pointing out like that looks like some sort of ranking marking as
looking at one of the cast off rocket propelled daggers, like
yes.
for any kind of insignia. Okay.
So I give him an asset on that roll.
Yeah, now it's 2 steps easier. And what did you roll?
Difficulty, like what's?
I difficulty
7.
It was difficulty 4, so you have XP to reroll if you'd like. But wait, no. 4 drops to 2. No, he's good. It was 4, he dropped a 2. That beats it. Yeah, so yeah, we're good. Okay. So what you know is that this is they look like robe, like you examine their clothing, the robes, you like examine the workings of the daggers, the jet powered daggers. You do know that it looks like the handiwork of like a pseudo secret society that's they kind of focus on knowledge and treasure, just like what you guys are looking for, but they're more of like a secret, like dark society, if that makes sense. They don't like play by the rules, like they'll kill people to get what they want, like, so it's basically a murderous cult of knowledge seekers, and they go by the name of You guys got a fun name for these guys? If not, I can just whip one out. I like to let the players name stuff though.
The Seekers of Truth.
Yeah, we'll just call them Seekers of Truth. So this, you know that they belong to that order of knowledge and treasure hunters. And even though their name may sound, poetic or nice, they are anything but. And you do remember
that's what we think.
That they were specifically asking about the map. Not about the treasure. They made no mention of going after the treasure or asking you guys for any of your belongings. They just specifically wanted the map. Or they've specifically only mentioned the map.
While these guys were sitting there having this conversation, I want to tip the carriage over. Could I do like a strength roll to tip the carriage over?
Yeah.
I
don't even think you would have to roll that.
Right?
Like you're like a big metal guy. You just like reach over and pull it down. Like
I'm a little metal guy. I'm trapped in a 50-year-old broad body.
So you jump up and you grab it and you like weigh it down. But either way, yeah, you can make a roll to make it right side up. Yeah. Okay, it's difficulty 1 task for you.
I got a 19 on the roll anyway.
Yeah, no, you pull it down, and what else happens? What's your minor effect? If you want to have one.
All right, I tipped the carriage over, right, and I noticed that when I tipped the carriage over, the 2 horses, I noticed that we have there's like a navigational, like a bronze compass, right? That is going to give us a shortcut, so it doesn't take us an hour to get to the ship.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
However you want to flavor that.
No,
like it'll cut our time in half.
Yeah, it was gonna be like 10 minutes by carriage once you right-sided it up. So like you found like a little shortcut that you'll get there basically. I was like, the doctor planned this like long scenic route. You just make a left here and it's one block.
I got a better flavor. It's a compass that when you press it, it does a turbo on the horses to make them double their speed.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So the horses go super fast. You see, like, when you press the button, you find the button. They're like little mechanical manes or whatever. Like I think of it like synthetic, like hairs. They lift up like they're gonna fart, and like jet goes. I'm sorry. That's really immature, but that's just the first thing that came to mind. But yes, that's what you see, and then
turbo horses.
It'll cut a trip in half.
Yeah, you'll get there very quickly now. Yeah. So you make it right.
Is up.
And so next up will be
Lucas. With the horse's butt shooting fire out of it.
Going fast.
Everybody who's just sitting in the carriage is just like sitting there and then boom against the back of it
but yeah, so go ahead. And
I was saying Back to the Future when he shoots out all the everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't think these things were legal. And then...
but what I was gonna say was, we got Lucas up next, but we are gonna take a quick little break here since we're in the midway point. We got the last half coming up next.
Yeah, we take a quick 5-10 minute break because me and Lucas definitely need to figure out where the hell we're gonna take this story.
Well, I got ideas.
Thank you guys for stopping by, and again, thank you, John and Lucas, for playing. We're gonna have some fun closing out the story, so stick around, guys. We will be back about 5 or so minutes. So from us at the CU, we will see you in a little bit.